Welcome to another edition of Highlander News. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Gabe. One Valley City student has a unique hobby.
Reporter Carson Hass brings you the story.
I found one randomly at a thrift shop and I thought that might be fun, so I bought it for really cheap.
After buying a unicycle, Jacob has to learn how to ride it.
I looked it up on YouTube first and it said to go find a wall or like a fence or something to hold on to. So I just found a wall in town and repeatedly got onto it and fell off and kept going until I could ride it halfway decently. The one I have now is a more expensive one. I had to buy it online. It's more of a name brand one. I don't know the name of it honestly, but it's a larger one, yeah.
Jacob has found several benefits to riding unicycles.
I kind of like when I am like, I don't know, riding around downtown and people see me and they laugh or they smile and they think it's kind of funny. I don't know, I kind of like that.
Jacob has a word of advice for new unicyclers.
Find one for cheap if you can, like as cheap as you can find it, just to get started out. And then find a wall or a fence. There are so many good YouTube videos out there of just how to ride unicycle. So watch a couple of those and then just go out and do it.
And from Highlander News, this is Carson Hass.
Have you ever wondered what high school is like in other countries?
Valley City's own foreign exchange student Josie Spangler brings us the story.
High schools and way of lives are different around the world. Every country has its own system. Here are some differences between the German and American high school system. In Germany, the high school has classes from the 5th to the 9th, 10th or 12th grade. The class, as we know in America, gets split in small classes, which have its own names like 5A or 5B. Not the students, but the teacher have to change between the classes. In addition, not every student has his own schedule. Here's an example from a schedule from the 10th grade. On Monday, for example, they had the first 2 hours physics, a 20-minute break, then after 2 hours German, a 15 minutes break, 2 hours English, then a free study hall, and at the end, 2 hours history. After school, students study for tests and doing homework or participate in hobbies. The school doesn't offer activities. The town is doing it. This is Highlander News, Josefina Spengler.
Reporter Cal Burchell takes you on a wild goose chase gathering teachers' hunting interests.
My favorite thing to hunt is by far mule deer in the Badlands. My favorite way to hunt is archery hunting. I love bow hunting. It's kind of what I consider myself as a bow hunter, and it kind of shapes how I approach any other hunting I do. Right? It goes through archery first, right? So if I can do the archery thing first, that's what I do. Not that I don't enjoy gun hunting, I do.
Well, I think my favorite thing to hunt is snow geese, but of course there's not that many around anymore. So now I've kind of switched to more of the deer hunting and getting involved in that during the fall. My favorite part of the hunting is the experience of being outdoors. Getting away from the technology, getting away from all the hustle and bustle of the city life, and just being able to enjoy the outdoors.
My favorite thing to hunt would be deer, and started with rifle hunting when I was a teenager, and later on as the license became harder to get, we got involved with bow hunting, which I found I really like. It's quiet, it's peaceful, and then you have moments that have a lot of action and you get all the excitement, and it's really enjoyable.
I like birds and big game, both, so it would kind of depend on. The birds, I really love hunting with my dog, so if it wouldn't be for my Labrador Retriever, I probably wouldn't hunt birds, but watching him in the field work, and that's just a ton of fun. The big game is interesting, mainly in really all hunting, I suppose, the camaraderie, hunting with family and friends and sharing the memories. But if you had to pick big game, I would say probably the caribou hunts I've been on, because the adventure of it, lots of animals, camping out in the tundra, wide open spaces, the Arctic in the fall, the colors are incredible. So, it's hard to pick, but I'd say caribou on the big game and upland for the birds.
Reporting for Highlander News, this is Callahan Burchell.
Many of us have interesting families.
Stephanie Hoffarth sits down with this set of cousins to share their stories.
I'm Amelia, and this is Gabe, and we're cousins.
There's a lot of small memories, a lot of jumping on the beds at hotel rooms and playing pretend with each other. And sometimes arguing over how being a superhero worked, even though it was pretend. That was fun.
Mostly it was me telling you how to do it. Gabe's nickname is Gaby Baby. It's been that for forever because when we were little, I said that he was mine. He was my Gaby Baby. And it stuck with him.
I remember when I was very little, I tried to give nicknames to my cousins, and I never actually called them it. I just remembered what I wanted to call them. And she was Teaspoon because she was little.
I remember that. We were at a family reunion, and there's not a lot of people our age. A lot of old people. This is one kid who was our age. And I was so excited, once in a lifetime opportunity to see Gabe here. And Gabe left me to go play with this other kid that he didn't even know. And I sat in that hotel room and cried.
His name was Ty.
I don't like him.
For Highliner News, this is Stephanie Hoffarth.
Reporter Brooklyn Treble goes through the school to test out these popular songs.
Stacy's mom
has got it going on.
So when are you gonna tell her that we did that too?
A week ago. I don't know.
I don't know about you,
but I'm feeling 22.
I got boy problems, that's the human in me. But I won't be one. I don't know. I wear short skirts.
She wears t-shirts. I'm cheer captain, and she's sitting on the bleachers.
Now the day bleeds into nightfall. And you're not here to get me through it all? Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum.
Running is a lifestyle for this Valley City teacher and coach.
Reporter Amber Knudsen shares her story.
I've been running 43 years. I started running in high school. It was something that I found that I enjoyed, and it was kind of a stress reliever at the end of the day. My main motivation for running is it's a stress reliever for me, and I like to see how far I can push myself. The older I get, there's new challenges every year as you get older, but that's the biggest thing is it relaxes me, where a lot of people think it's crazy, but it does relax me after a long day at school or just any day. I just completed my 36th marathon when I ran New York a couple of weeks ago, and they are all unique in their own way. One of my favorite marathons is Disney World. That was fun. I've done that twice. And it's always fun because they open the parks all up before they open it up to the public, so you get to run behind the scenes and the characters are all out there. The biggest challenge probably for me with running and training for an event like this is actually working a full-time job and being a head coach of a sport. It limits the amount of time that you have available. You have to get up in the morning I've spent a lot of times at 4 a.m. out on the streets running, and then after school or whenever you can fit it in. Just try it. I mean, a lot of people say they can't run, but as human beings, we're born to run. And you don't have to start out with running 10 miles at once. You might be running a fourth of a mile walking and running and walking, but eventually you'll work it up. If you ask any of the cross-country athletes, that's where they started, is at ground zero, and they have built up to a lot of that. One of the craziest marathons I ran was in Iowa, and it was a marathon to marathon Iowa. And it was about 90 out, so it was fairly warm, but I was ready for it. But the whole way, being in cow country, it smelled like cow manure the whole way. The last marathon I ran was New York, and it was on November 7th. It was a huge event for me because it's one that you have to qualify for, and I've been trying to get into it for years. It's very hard to get into. They have roughly 32,000 people that sign up for it, and that's down, this last one is down by 20,000. They used to have 52,000 that would finish the marathon. And so it is a huge event. It's a big day. It is amazing. New York knows how to throw a marathon, and it was the 50th running of the marathon. And I would say for 22 miles, there were people screaming. Whether it was at you or somebody else, they just screamed for everybody. It was amazing. I don't know when my last marathon will be. I think it'll just catch me by surprise. I guess I'm going to just keep running until I can't. I can see myself shifting from the marathon to the half marathon because they are fun.
For Highliner News, this is Amber Knutson.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Highliner News. I'm Gabe.
And I'm Jenna.